and I will fight you if you want to talk bad about him. Like, we will fight. You come down here, I'll put him up. Welcome to the jungle, Bengals fans. I'm Kyle Phelps, and I'm not gonna lie, I am still not feeling great after what happened on Monday night. The most recent update I have on the situation is that there appears to be some room for optimism. According to his uncle, he's trending in the right direction and has recently had his oxygen assistance reduced from 100% to 50%. There's small strides, but it's still great to hear that there's, something to hope for in this situation. There's some reason for optimism, right? So I don't think it needs to be said, but I think I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway, just in case any of you guys are curious. We're not doing the power rankings this week at all. Quite frankly, I had the whole episode mostly written up before the Monday Night Football game, except for the Super Bowl caliber teams, because both the Bengals and the Bills are in that category. I was probably going to put whoever won the game at number 1 and whoever lost at number 5, but considering what happened, I kind of felt like putting out a video was highly inappropriate. Instead, I decided, I still have somewhat of a platform. I'm still going to try to put out some positivity, and I'm going to make a video about something that I feel is more relevant out there into the YouTube verse in its place. So before we get into that video, I'd just like to ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel, but I also ask that you go donate to Damar Hamlin's charity if you're able. It's really the only thing that has made much sense to me to be pushing for, and together, we, the whole community, obviously not just my channel, have raised over $6 million for Damar's community initiatives. Initially, it started as a toy drive for kids that the completion date had already passed, but the fundraiser is now able to have so much wider of an impact than was ever probably expected, and the family is still receiving these funds, right? So, the charitable donations are still going to have charitable results, right? So thank you so much to everybody who's donated so far. We can't make this tragedy right, but we can hopefully turn some of the darkness into goodness. So in the spirit of finding rays of light at this dark time, I want to highlight Bengals coach Zac Taylor. His actions on Monday showed me exactly why he's the kind of man that we want leading this team into battle every single week. He wasn't the only one, but reports are that Zac Taylor is the one who stepped into a chaotic situation on the field on Monday, and with the sole intent of just showing compassion and leadership by refusing to even consider restarting the game and consoling Bills head coach Sean McDermott in the tunnel. And then afterwards, he left the stadium and went to go visit Damar Hamlin in the hospital. So, just like the character of the person who we call the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals is just top of the line, man. This kind of stuff right here is exactly why the Bengals wanted Zac Taylor to be their next head coach after Marvin Lewis, guys. It's a big part of the reason why I was personally calling for Zac Taylor to get the job, even before Marvin Lewis was fired. Being a head coach is about more than play calling and situational awareness on fourth down. I'm not trying to take a shot at him, that's just, an honest analysis of some of the issues he sometimes struggles with. It's also and primarily, I think, about being a leader of men. It's about leading by example and getting the most out of your players. In the NFL, these athletes, they're professionals, they're grown men, and they respond to work ethic, dedication, respect, and brotherhood. Zac Taylor embodies all of these characteristics to a T and proved it once again in the way that he expertly navigated an impossible situation in the chaos of Monday night's debacle. At the end of the day, you guys can have the feelings you want to have about Zac Taylor. I know a lot of people are feeling a lot better about him now, but there's a lot of people who were extremely critical of him leading up to Monday night. As a man, I won't hear any slander about him, period, ever. At all, never. Not after watching what happened Monday, but quite frankly, I wasn't really ready to hear much slander about him as a man before that. Also, I doubt anybody with a heart would criticize him now after the actions that he took on Monday anyway. Secondarily, as a coach, this is the kind of guy that football players want to go to war behind. You've seen it throughout Zac Taylor's tenure. Even when they were losing, the Bengals were always fighting every single snap. You know, there were some locker room issues, particularly with Carlos Dunlap, but I think that had more to do with his concerns about his career and the impact that, getting benched essentially had, rather than it had to do with anything with Zac Taylor's direction with the team and everything like that. Pairing Zac Taylor with a guy like Joe Burrow, who the players want to go to war with, that just seems kind of like overkill, and is probably a big part of the reason why the Bengals are so successful right now. Hell, even Aaron Rodgers took to the Pat McAfee show to talk about how much credit Zac Taylor deserves after expertly navigating that situation on Monday. And I have to say, I've never been more proud to call Zac Taylor my team's head coach, and I will fight you if you want to talk bad about him. Like, we will fight. You come down here, I'll put him up. And by the way, none of this is to take credit away from the other amazing people who made the situation on Monday a lot less chaotic than it should have been. I am talking about guys like Sean McDermott. Zac Taylor consoled him, but Sean McDermott also showed incredible leadership. Joe Burrow showed a ton of leadership in the situation. All of the first responders who proved that the best place in the world to have a freak medical accident like that is on an NFL football field. The amazing staff at UC Medical Hospital, who are probably the reason why Damar Hamlin is still alive and breathing right now as we speak. All we can do is hope and pray. Do whatever you believe in for Damar. There will be a time to talk more about the football side of things as soon as we know that he's going to be okay. There's seeding implications. There's all that. We will talk about that. I will come out with a video about that. I don't feel right now is the best time to do that, right? I've got a lot more to say about Zac Taylor just simply as a coach from an X's and O's standpoint too. I'll probably do a more in-depth video about that in the offseason after we know what the results of this season are going to be. But for now, I think it's insanely important to recognize what a masterful job he did navigating an impossible situation on Monday. Props to you, Coach Taylor. I'm so thankful that we have somebody like you on the Bengals organization showing that kind of leadership, and that sometimes can just be so rare in such chaotic times like the one that we have right now. So that's pretty much all I have for this video, y'all. Like I said, I haven't felt right focusing anything about the football side of things since Monday. We can get back to that. We will get back to that as soon as we know that Damar is going to be okay, which I'm still very hopeful for based off of the things I've heard. Once again, I'm leaving a link to his charity in the description, and if you're able, please support it. If you can't, then it's fine. It's no pressure. It's just, if you can, the link's there. So I'll tell y'all one thing. After what we saw from him on Monday, Zac Taylor makes me want to go back to leaving y'all, as always, with a hootie!